Under the rings of the London Bridge, in the shadow of Buckingham Palace, new kings and queens will be crowned. Their royal titles earned from years of sacrifice and dedication by the world's greatest athletes. For 15 days, they'll fight for gold, compete for glory, wear their country's colors, and inspire a generation. This is their time, and these are their Olympic hopes and gold dreams. Welcome to Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams. There is so much to watch in the coming days, so many great athletes to see. Tonight, we're introducing you to the athletes with a Michigan connection. NBCOlympics.com posted a list of the top 5 athletes to watch in London. Sitting at number 1 is the man who figures to give former University of Michigan student Michael Phelps his biggest challenge in the pool. Ryan Lochte won 4 medals in Beijing, but was overshadowed by Phelps' 8 golds. Well, at last year's Worlds, Lochte turned the tables, beat Phelps on his way to 5 gold medals. The two will swim head-to-head in 2 events in London, the 200 and 400 IM. One of the best rivalries in London will be between teammates.
I put myself in that spot. I put myself in the spot to not swim the times that I want. And he was just like kind of rolling over me. It wasn't fun to be on that end, and it was something that was very motivating for me. I do everything I can to try and fight back, and then hopefully I didn't get too far behind to where I can't make up some of the ground that Ryan's pulled off.
All right, sitting at number 2 on the top 5 athletes to watch is an athlete born, raised, and trained in the great state of Michigan. DeWitt's Jordyn Wieber is poised to be one of the stars of the London Games. She's already been on the cover of Sports Illustrated's Olympic preview. A big performance in London, and there's no telling how big her star will become. The bigger the stage,
this is a huge dismount. She's been working on perfecting the dismount landing,
the better she performs.
She's not a girl that loves the limelight until she gets in competition. Then she wants to shine.
Jordyn Wieber has been shining as brightly as any gymnast in the world the past 2 years. She won the all-around at the World Championships in 2011 and earned a spot on the U.S. Olympic team in June.
It was just pretty much the happiest moment of my life.
She accomplished all that before she celebrated her 17th birthday.
I've just gotten so used to dealing with being nervous and dealing with pressure at competitions that now when we go up on the big stage, we just pretend like it's practice and just go up there and do what we know how to do.
Here I'm gonna do a back walkover.
Jordyn's love for gymnastics started early. She was 4 when she first walked into Geddert's Twisters Gymnastics Club, and her natural talent was obvious. But it takes more than talent to become a world champion.
It takes a lot of commitment. I have to be in the gym every single day.
It takes years of 5 to 8 hour days of painstakingly perfecting routines.
She's not satisfied until things are perfect in a healthy way. And that's what really makes her excel.
Each and every day in the gym, you have to be thinking about your goals and thinking, I want to be the best, so that way when you go into competition, you already have that in your mind and you're just ready to go.
She's used to the spotlight and craves the stage. But this spotlight and this stage will be like nothing she's ever experienced.
I grew up in a really small town called DeWitt. You've probably never heard of it.
NBC is using Jordyn as part of its promotional campaign, and they put her at number 2 on their U.S. athletes to watch list. As if the pressure of Olympic competition isn't enough, Jordyn will certainly feel it in London. Because when it comes down to it, this is what she's been coming to the gym for since she was 4 years old.
We only have a few competitions a year, so when we finally get to go out and show off what we've been practicing, it's just an amazing feeling, and that's basically what we do it for.
Like Phelps, Wieber's toughest competition figures to come from an American teammate, Gabby Douglas. Women's gymnastics begins this Sunday here on Wood TV 8. The team final is Tuesday night. As he did at the World Championships in 2011, John Geddert will lead the U.S. team in London. He was selected as the head coach of the U.S. women's gymnastics team, an honor he readily admits comes in part because of the success he's had training Jordyn Wieber at his gym near Lansing.
Well, when she won Worlds, I told the media that 2 dreams came true that day. 1, she became a world champion, and 2, I coached one. It's brought a lot of opportunity for me in speaking engagements, clinician type opportunities. Our gym is full of competitive athletes wanting to be the next Jordyn Wieber. So it's been a great opportunity.
Believe it or not, Weber isn't the only 17-year-old girl from our state with a chance to medal. Flint's Clarissa Shields will be in London as well, but her path to the Olympics is much different than Jordan's. Before Shields found boxing, her goal was to have 10 children before she turned 25. She wanted to show her mother you could love all your children. Well, boxing gave her something else to prove. For nearly a century, Burston Fieldhouse has been a haven for Flint's youth. A gritty old building where athletes like Glenn Rice, Mateen Cleaves, and Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram came to play. But deep in the bowels of Burston, on the tattered canvas of a makeshift ring, fighters come to work. This is the gym that produced 2004 bronze medalist Andre Durrell. And now it's home to another Olympian. A 17-year-old senior to be at Flint Northwestern, Clarissa Shields.
I just started coming and I don't know, it's like I enjoyed learning. You know, it wasn't a bad place to be at. There weren't no interferences. Like when you came down here, all the problems went away. You didn't have a lot of problems, and well, you was stress-free for just those 2 hours, and then after that you leave and you're back out there in the real world.
In Flint, that can be a pretty tough place, especially for a kid like Clarissa. Raised in a broken home, her father Clarence spent most of her adolescence in prison.
No, I just started just to make my dad happy, you know what I mean? Because he said he wasted a whole bunch of his life, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do something. And when he told me he used to box, that's the first thing that came to my mind. If he would have said he was a professional track runner or something, I probably would have tried to do that too.
Clarissa was 11 when her father first brought her to Burston. That's when she met the club's coach,
You can't stand around and wait. You gotta pick up the
Jason Crutchfield.
We have a routine that we go through where we teach the kids how to box, and she was doing it real well, and she was doing better than the boys, so that's when I kind of saw something, and I kind of just grabbed her.
And Clarissa saw something in boxing. It gave her a purpose.
Well, I think, you know, Ressa was at an age and a point in her life where she could go this way or that way.
It just gave me something to put all my hope into. You know, I don't have to go out there and put my hope into a guy or faith into a guy to love me, you know what I mean? I'm down here, and this is where I feel most loved.
Come on, go! Ain't no dang nothing.
The love she gets in the gym can best be described as tough. Shields and Crutchfield have been working together for 6 years, and until a recent trip to China, the only fight she'd ever lost
What you say? What you say? Well, no, why you looking at me like that?
was the occasional verbal knockout from her coach.
Come on, don't be bossed up.
Every once in a while, you have to push her.
So far, Crutchfield has pushed the right buttons, and Shields has responded. She's already made history as the first U.S. woman ever to make an Olympic boxing team, and she'll head to London, hoping to make more.
That'd be real nice to carry, you know what I mean? First woman to win a gold medal out of Flint, and then again, I'm black. That'd be great.
Women's boxing begins on August 5th. Clarissa drew a first-round bye. Gold medal fight is August 9, and women's boxing will be televised on CNBC. Another Michigan athlete to watch in London, Canton's Allison Schmidt. She'll compete in the 400 and 200 free, as well as the 400 and 800 freestyle relays. Schmidt swims at the University of Georgia, and when she's not there, she's a training partner with Michael Phelps.
You know, Allison Schmidt, literally, I think I've seen her like one time unhappy in, I don't know, 6 years. You know, she always has little jokes here and there, you know, something to always make you smile. So, you know, she's somebody that's definitely good to have around the pool.
Oh, well, I try to be kind of positive. I just like to laugh. I like to make things lighthearted and pretty easygoing, laid back, and I just like to be happy.
All right, still to come on Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams, meet Tia Brooks, a girl who did not want to throw the shot put. Guess what she's throwing in London? Also, Dathan Hein, how he fought off injuries to make his third Olympic team. Welcome back to Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams. If Tia Brooks had her way, she'd be a sprinter, and she'd probably be at home watching the Olympics on TV. But the track coaches at East Kentwood saw something in Tia. She was born to throw the shot put. Convincing her to do it, now that was a challenge. Some athletes are destined for greatness.
That was one of the things that I had said to her, that she has the physical gifts and the ability to be an Olympian. And I don't say that every day to kids.
Stephanie Stevenson uttered those words to Tia Brooks when she coached her at East Kentwood High School. But before Brooks could get on her path to greatness, she had to be convinced to get on that path.
Stubborn's probably a really good word to use.
I didn't really want to throw the shot put.
It took Tia a minute.
I didn't want to be the stereotypical thrower, you know, the big girl and who didn't run and wasn't athletic.
And she cried and boo-hooed, threatened to quit.
She wanted to run, and she can run, but she could really throw it.
Eventually, Tia relented, and the medals in her family's Kentwood home are proof she made the right choice.
She put her best foot forward, and she was breaking records left and right.
Tia went on to shatter school and state records in the shot put. She won the Division I state championship during her senior year and earned a scholarship to Oklahoma, where she has flourished. This year, she won both the indoor and outdoor NCAA championships. And in June, she made a profit of her high school coach. On her last throw at the Olympic trials, she earned a spot on the U.S. Olympic team.
You talk about it and you dream about it, and for it to actually happen is kind of surreal. I'm still waiting for everything to set in, but I'm so honored to be able to go over there and represent my country and just be with all the people that I looked up to growing up.
Tia is having some kind of year. Women's shot put competition, August 6th. The finals will be aired right here on Wood TV8. Since the mid-1980s, Olympic hopefuls have moved to Michigan to train and get an education at the Olympic Education Center at Northern Michigan University. It's just one of 4 in the country, but a lack of funding has put the future of the program in jeopardy. 24-Hour News 8's Brian Sterling takes a look at what could happen to Michigan's medal factory.
How many cities can say that they are an Olympic training site or an education center for the Olympics, that they have the connection?
It's a pure Michigan connection that has spanned more than 25 years and some 25,000 athletes. The Olympic Education Center at Northern Michigan. It's helped competitors from around the nation, speed skaters, wrestlers, even boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. win some 70 Olympic medals. But this summer, the center is at a crossroads.
It's a feeder program that we need.
Wrestler Justin Lester is one of 6 competitors who trained in Marquette, headed for London. He says the remote location helps mold winners.
That's all you can do up there is focus on wrestling. It's a great environment. It really is. The training, you have tons of nature where you can train.
Northern Michigan, it is pretty easy to focus. It's not much to do up there, and it snows almost every day for most of the year.
Funding for the center is provided by both the government and the U.S. Olympic Committee, but it is not enough.
You got to have the money to do the things you need to do.
And that need is to stop the bleeding. After hosting the short track speed skating trials in '06, that program, a backbone to the center, is being phased out. And directors don't want to see other programs fall.
It's a balancing act, and our job is to do what we can to help them balance all that and be as successful as they possibly can.
Officials say a new fundraising effort for the center will begin by fall as all eyes fall on foggy London, far from the snows of Marquette.
Still to come on Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams. He ran the 5,000 in Athens, the marathon in Beijing. Now Dathan Hein gets ready for yet another Olympics and another event. And they were roommates in Ann Arbor, but in London, Sam McCulloch and Sykes Caesar will be wearing different colors. Those stories and more when Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams continue. When Dathan Hein was piling up state championships for Rockford High School, Sports Illustrated featured him and called him the best American distance runner to come along in more than 3 decades. 12 years later, Hein is headed to his 3rd Olympics, and as Larry Figursky reports, he'll be competing in his 3rd different event.
Dathan Hein, they've just passed 24 miles.
Dathan Hein is not only a 3-time Olympian.
3 times, it's really hard, you know, a lot of luck has to go into making it and a lot of preparation, and I'm really blessed to be able to be on my third team.
But each time he's qualified in a different event.
The last couple of years I haven't been doing track, and so it's kind of fun to get back on the oval again.
The former Rockford High School standout and 3-time national champion at the University of Colorado hobbled through the 5,000 meters on a stress fracture in Athens in 2004, then finished first amongst the Americans and 9th overall in the marathon in Beijing in 2008. But his third trip to the Games seemed unlikely at best 6 months ago.
There's Dathan Hein trying to keep up now, back to 4th place.
At the Olympic trials in January, Dathan set a personal record in the marathon, 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 55 seconds, yet came up 8 seconds shy of the third and final spot on the Olympic team.
And you look at the emotion, Dathan Hein, he knows he just missed it.
Only 8 seconds off from making the team. 8 seconds in a marathon's like the lean at the tape, in a track race. So it was pretty devastating, especially considering I had 2 surgeries the year before on my Achilles, and I really came back pretty quick, but it was just not enough.
So Dathan Hein turned his focus to the 10,000-meter run, where on a rainy day in Eugene, Oregon, he had to not only finish in the top 3, but beat the Olympic qualifying standard time of 27:45, a mark he had never reached before.
Having the extra pressure always adds a little bit more excitement.
He did both.
And he's in! Luckily, it worked out in the end.
The kid from Rockford, who's had more than his share of injuries, will turn 30 this year, yet believes he still has at least 1, maybe 2 Olympic cycles left in him.
There's only, I think, 2 other distance runners who have ever made 4 Olympic teams, so if I could make 1 more, that'd be a pretty good company.
And when it does finally come to an end, the husband and now father of 2 hopes to bring his family home for good.
I crave going home right now. I'm looking forward to coming back after the Olympics, and I still think that's where we're going to find ourselves one day. Just that's the only place that we call home is still West Michigan, and so we'll be back there one day for good, I think.
Dathan's big day in London, Saturday, August. 4 10,000-meter finals will be aired here on NBC Wood TVA. Odds are at least 1 current or former University of Michigan athlete will have a medal draped around his or her neck in London. History shows this to be true. If you tallied up all the medals won by U of M athletes in the Summer Games since 1900, the University of Michigan by itself would be the 24th most successful country. Their colors would be red, white, and gold blue. Led by Michael Phelps' record 8 golds in Beijing, they've won a total of 65 golds, over 130 medals in all.
Olympic summers are very special at the University of Michigan, simply because we're always represented in a significant way. It seems like we're always part of the discussion about not only the U.S. team, but other teams around the world. It really speaks well to the global nature of the University of Michigan.
Michigan will send 19 athletes in 7 different sports. 2 of them will be gymnasts fighting for gold in London. Sam McCulloch and Syke Caesar both qualified, but they're not teammates. They'll sport different colors at the Olympics. Ask any University of Michigan athlete, and they'll tell you,
I bleed blue.
So when Syke Caesar showed up for a workout wearing this, he may have raised an eyebrow or 2.
It was very difficult for me to get up this morning and wear these colors on campus. I don't typically, this is probably the first time I've worn red or green in years, actually.
Normally the colors green and red are taboo on Michigan's campus, but Caesar gets a pass because those are the colors he'll wear in London.
I'm just so excited to, compete for Bangladesh.
Adding to the excitement is the fact he'll compete against his teammate and roommate Sam McCulloch.
I think it's just crazy that 2 Michigan gymnasts are going to be competing at the Olympic Games.
Even when we're competing as a team, we're all still competing against each other. He's my teammate, but at the same time, we're competitors.
With stellar performances at both the Visa Championships and the United States Olympic trials, McCulloch became the first Michigan gymnast ever to make a U.S. Olympic team. Something longtime coach Kurt Golder takes great pride in.
My whole career, my goal was to produce a U.S. Olympian. And so that fulfills a lifetime goal. I've been chasing that for like 40 years I've been coaching.
He kind of broke down more than I did. And he just kind of was like shaking, and we came over to each other and just gave a big hug, and he was just like, "Thank you, Sam." And I was like, "No, coach, thank you. You've done so much for me."
One concern for McCulloch is the condition of his right ankle. He sprained it at trials, but before he left for London, he was going through full workouts.
My trainers are saying I'm like Wolverine. I've got some insane healing ability, which I'm real thankful for, but everything's been as perfect as I can imagine, and I'm back sooner than I thought I was.
McCulloch and Caesar spring right into action. Men's gymnastics begins Saturday, team finals Monday on Wood TV 8. When we return, Sarah Zelenka took up rowing at Grand Valley. How she went from club sport athlete to Olympian. Welcome back to Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams. Before now, the idea of a rower from Grand Valley making an Olympic team was as likely as, say, a basketball player from Calvin, Cornerstone, or Kuiper making it to the NBA. It just didn't happen. But then Sarah Zelenka came along. Talk about your underdog story. Olympians aren't supposed to come out of club teams.
Whenever somebody asks her where they went to school, we're like, where'd you go?
But rowing stroke on the women's pairs team in London will be 2009 Grand Valley graduate Sarah Zelenka.
I'm beyond excited. This has been a dream of mine since I was really young, and I'm just so happy it came true. Like, we're going to the Olympics. It's insane. It's awesome.
It's remarkable considering Zelenka had never rowed before she stepped foot on Grand Valley's campus. But once she joined the club team, she was hooked.
If I didn't row at Grand Valley, I don't know if I would. I mean, I might keep rowing, but they really made me love the sport.
Sarah loved it enough to move to Princeton to pursue her Olympic dream. In 2010, she started racing with Princeton graduate Sarah Hendershot.
When we first started rowing together, it was like, but then now it's, we figured, we're working out the kinks right now.
What makes her story even more unlikely is the U.S. sent a team to the Worlds in Lucerne, Switzerland in May. Sarah wasn't even a part of it.
Well, actually, we told ourselves every day we can't let this discourage us.
We have always kind of been like, you know, right under making the team, and so just being able to keep that positive attitude and keep working hard, we knew we would get ourselves a shot.
Not many people were giving them a shot, especially when they fell behind 2 boat lengths early in their race at the Olympic trials against the team that had been sent to Lucerne. But the Sarahs never gave in.
Honestly, all I really remember is Sarah behind me telling me where we were and saying that we needed to make a move now if we wanted to go to London. So I was like, okay, we know we got to do it, so we were doing it. And she kept saying, London, London, Olympics. And that was motivating me so much, I felt no pain. It was honestly amazing. It was one of those races where it doesn't happen very often. I hope it happens at the Olympics.
Competition for Sarah starts tomorrow, medal round Wednesday. You can watch the rowing on Wood TV 8. Wind will provide power in sailing's competition, but a Richland boat maker has done his part to provide speed in the star class. And if all goes according to plan, they could be celebrating gold, silver, and bronze on August 5th. When you have a passion for something, then doing it hardly feels like work.
I have a passion for sailing.
John Vandermolen has been sailing since he was 6.
It's serenity now for me to get out and race. The stresses of life disappear when I get on my boat and I go racing. And
the blue star on his sail shows he's an accomplished sailor. But Vandermolen's mark on this sport is being made in the vessel in which he sails.
I rolled the dice. I took a chance when the economy was bad, and we started this.
This was building the P-Star, a sleek, fast, state-of-the-art star-class sailboat.
I wish you could have seen it.
In his shop at the North American Sailing Center in Richland, Vandermolen and his crew painstakingly built 37 P-Stars over the past 2.5 years. They were purchased for the purpose of racing in the London Olympics. Of the 16 countries competing in the star class, 13 will be using the P-Star.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's really just sort of now setting in because the last 2.5 years we've been in such a grind building the boats that we haven't really been able to sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor. But now it's the pinnacle, it's there, the games, it's what we've all been working for. And the chances of us medaling are great.
And we want to wish all of our local Olympians the best out in London. That'll wrap up another edition of Olympic Hopes, Gold Dreams. Opening ceremonies are next.